Good morning.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday, y'all. This is the WOWW Podcast, WOWW, Wendy's on Wellness Wednesday. I am Dr. Wendy Sue Massey. I'm an integrative medical practitioner, owner of Freedom Holistic Wellness, co-owner with my husband of Grace and Grove Homestead, author, holistic nutrition specialist, wife, mom, Gigi, lover of Jesus, and all things natural. And this is my amazing bestie, Wendy Flournoy.
Hey guys, Wendy Flournoy, certified hypnotherapist, herbalist, forager, student, educator, wife, mom, Gigi, lover of all things non-toxic and God-given.
Amen, sister. So how's your week been? What you been having going on?
Crazy week. Just busy. I am leaving tomorrow for warmer weather and cruising a little bit. Thankfully, nowhere near Mexico.
Yeah.
So we're just going to the Bahamas, my girlfriend Susan and I am just super excited to have a little downtime and some warm weather. Amen.
I am jealous. Well, that's good to know. That is good to know. I'm glad you're going to get away. That is something that I always love doing this time of year. It helps with that old seasonal affective disorder.
Yep. You got more snow up there, didn't you?
We sure did. We woke up Monday morning to another 5-6 inches, and I was like, what the heck? It's so funny because, you know, the running joke that you can be a meteorologist and never write and yet still and not lose your job. We literally went to bed Saturday night being told it was going to be anywhere between 1 and 16 inches.
Oh, wow.
What?
That's
and
huge.
That was Saturday night. So I wake up Sunday morning, it's snowing, but was just mildly sticking. So I didn't want to take my mama out to church.
Yeah.
And then it ended up not doing anything until we went till it was late Sunday night. And I was like, what the heck? So
we got a little tiny bit of the nice big fluffy flakes coming down. You know, it was pretty to watch a little bit, but wasn't sticking to any roads. I mean, because we had 90% of it was rain before it ever turned to snow.
Yeah.
So looks like they're more in the forecast for Monday here.
Oh my goodness.
I'm like, are we done with this yet? Doesn't the time change soon?
Yeah, somewhere around my birthday. I need to look up the date. Might be the weekend of my birthday because
I think it's a little early this year. It's the 8th.
Oh, okay, so it's the week before. Okay.
Yeah.
I know a lot of times it happens that weekend, but
yeah.
Are we gonna end up?
I know. Can we just
stop? Can we just stop going back and forth? Can we just choose one or the other and leave it be? I mean, it's just I hate.
I'm hoping that's still going to happen because it sure would help calm things.
It really would. I mean, it's so funny because I understand the reason for it back in the day, you know, but now we don't have the same reasons. And all it does is create medical problems and car accidents and all the things that they've proven that are worse the few days after the time change. It's like, why are we going to keep doing this to our bodies? It's insane.
Just throwing everything off for a while. And it's like, no.
Doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
So update on my shoulders. I'm better this week than last week. Nowhere near, ready to start doing
progress.
Yeah, it's progress. I don't wake up literally in tears in the morning now. It's phasing more into the stiffness and less of the pain. So I'm grateful for that. I've been thanking God for this all along, though I've been asking for his healing. But because I really do believe I'm learning patience in this season, and that's not easy for me.
Isn't it amazing how many lessons he gives us on patience?
Girl, I was literally laying there doing my red light, talking to him yesterday or the day before, almost laughing. And I'm like, Lord, you know that of all the fruit of the Spirit, that is where I'm lacking the most. Patience is the absolute worst for me.
Same.
And I feel like he's going, yep, and you're gonna get real good at it now in this season.
Yep. Here's a couple more lessons.
Yes. My word. So, but I have made it more funny now that I'm having a little less pain, and told Jacob and my grandbabies that I'm in my T-Rex season. So, so my granddaughter, yes. And I have Bill rolling. He'll come in to hug me, and I'm like, it's like, I'm like, come hug the T-Rex, and, but it's so funny. Yesterday I was talking to Alexa on FaceTime, and she's like, Gigi, your shoulder better? And I said, well, sugar, I said, it doesn't hurt as bad, but I'm still a T-Rex. And I put the phone down and showed her. She just laughed.
I love that. T-Rex.
Gigi, you not T-Rex. But anyway,
I went to my oldest grandson's first Pinewood Derby for Cub Scouts over the weekend.
Oh, how special.
Where he won first place.
Oh, yay! That's awesome.
And his little sister won second place.
Oh, my goodness.
So Dad was hooking up something on the Pinewood Derby cars.
Yes, he was. He had a little nos or something.
It was fun to watch, and two of my other grandchildren were there, and the Cub Scout master had some old cars in the back and pulled some out so they could race too. And yeah, it was very sweet. It was a lot of fun. It reminded me of those days when I was a Cub Scout leader.
That's so cool. I love that.
He said, we were at the playground afterward, and he's like, I said, what a day, huh? He's like, yeah, Gigi, I can't even believe I got first place.
Oh, they're so precious. They are so precious. Well, girl, we are talking about a couple of things today about calming the nervous system, using taurine as one of the new ingredients I'm using in my own life.
Yes.
We're talking about marshmallow root and leaves. I think I put in the description marshmallow root. And of course, I should have known better. You're going to show us how to use it all.
Well, marshmallow root is the most popular thing used. So
yeah.
You did good.
And before we get started, we do have a couple of sponsors, but I wanted to share again this one from last week that I mentioned, We Heart Nutrition. You guys definitely get out there and check them out. I want to pull up my information here that I saved so you all know how to reach them. So We Heart Nutrition is a supplement company that I am fully putting my support behind, and as they are us, what we're doing. That's right. We Heart Nutrition is a small company out of Texas that deals with, they started off mostly with prenatal vitamins. And that's how I found them a few years ago, because I have never seen anybody put a better prenatal vitamin out there. Nice. I highly recommend them. All of their products are gluten-free, soy-free, third-party tested. They use the best ingredients of supplement companies. It's very hard to find an American-based supplement company that that you can trust. And they also, for those of us who care about this, which I very much do, they are a pro-life organization. They put 10% of all of their money into helping women who choose life, and to pro-life centers. And so they have done a lot of good with that too. But if you at checkout, first of all, let me tell you, their website is www.weheartnutrition.com. If you go to /Dr. Wendy Sue, and then use code WENDY20, WENDY20 at checkout, you will get 20% off your first order. I can tell you right now, I use this Wholesome Women's Multi 40 Plus. It's fantastic. I just got my daughter some of the regular Women's Multi. I got my daughter-in-law the prenatal, because she's expecting. And I'm using magnesium glycinate that they have out, and their probiotic is by far the best probiotic I've ever seen. So I cannot say enough good stuff about them. If you have followed me for any amount of time, you know this is a big deal for me to recommend a supplement company, because my trust is minimal, and I don't recommend one that even has one product that I would ever tell somebody, you know what, you can get XYZ products, but don't get these. I don't do that. So the reason why I recommend them is because every single thing they put out is awesome. So again, weheartnutrition.com, Dr. Wendy / Dr. Wendy Sue, and then use code Wendy20 for 20% off your first order.
Nice.
So, and I'll save the other one for later. Why don't you tell us all about Marshmallow, baby?
All right, before we get into Marshmallow, I want to back up and go over some things I had to look up about star anise.
Oh, okay.
We were talking about, we weren't sure how it grew, whether it was a plant, a bush, or a tree.
Yeah.
It is a small tree. It does grow in zones 7 to 11, which blew my mind because I myself thought it was tropical area only. Mm-hmm. So I could possibly grow it here because I am zone 7. It loves warm and humid climate with mild winters.
Okay.
It likes partial shade. It takes 4 to 6 years, like most fruit trees, to produce any fruit, but it flowers like hibiscus. It comes out in that star shape, and then it recoils back in and creates the star anise pod. That's which is cool. Fascinating. And the pictures I was looking at, the flowers they really do look like red stars. and then they just kind of go back into each other. But that's how my hibiscus does. When I grow hibiscus, the flower comes out and then it goes into itself and it creates what they call the coccyx. And then it forms a skin around the seed pod, and the skin, I'm saying skin, the outer covering of the seed pod is what I use for my teas and things. And then the seed pods can be boiled to make a gelatin-like thing to use to make jams and jellies and things like that. Amazing. So the star anise, I don't know anything about boiling those pods. I don't think they gel or anything like the hibiscus seeds, but they grow the same way. They come out and they go back in and create the pod. So I found fascinating. I might have to try to grow me a star anise.
Yeah. So I know you said that it's like a small tree. Do you know how big? Like, is it something that you could put in a pot and keep in a sunroom, or is it something more that?
I don't think so, because they said the average height was like 5 to 8 feet.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, and probably just like any other tree that because I have lemon and lime that I'm just pruning to make sure they stay, small enough to fit in my Florida room. Yeah. So I would think that with anything, you could move it in and out as long as you're properly pruning. Yeah.
Makes total sense.
Oh, yeah. So today we're talking about marshmallow, mainly marshmallow root, because marshmallow flowers are kind of like the star anise and the hibiscus. They kind of come out and they're beautiful, but you really don't use the flowers. I haven't seen anything anywhere where anybody actually uses the flowers. Okay. It's mainly the root. That's marshmallow root, and the leaves. Okay. Now the leaves are kind of interesting because when you dry them or freeze dry them or dehydrate them, they still stay kind of fluffy. Like you would imagine marshmallows being. Okay?
Interesting.
Yeah, and it's the mucilage in them. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Fluffy like that. So
that's what's so medicinal too, is the mucilage. Yes.
Yeah. And that is what marshmallow root is the best for, or the leaves. It's good for that mucilage for coating, like a sore throat or soothing inflammation in your throat. Anything that it will add moisture to things. Like if you have a really dry, it'll help coat and moisturize. Anything that's dry or irritated, inflamed, the mucilage is responsible for moistening and protecting all of that. But it also has a lot of a lot of history, because it's been used for at least 2,000 years. The Greeks, the Romans, the Middle Eastern herbal traditions, they all used marshmallow root. It was traditionally prepared as a poultice for wounds and a soothing drink for coughs and digestive complaints. It was even used to make early forms of marshmallows. Okay, so that's where we get marshmallows. before they invented gelatin. Okay.
Okay.
So yes, the marshmallows that we know of today originated from marshmallow plant.
So there is a connection, because I always thought how funny that, you think about marshmallows being all sugar and gelatin, and then there's marshmallow root had nothing to do with it. But I guess that's not true. That's cool.
Yeah, the original marshmallows were created from marshmallow plant before they created gelatin.
That's so wild.
All right, marshmallows' primary actions are demulcent, which soothes and coats, emollient, which softens and moisturizes, which is what makes it a good herb for skin. Okay,
for wound healing and
yes, it's an anti-inflammatory, very mild, but still is. It supports tissue repair, and it's a mild diuretic. So it will help. It will help with respiratory issues. It will help with digestive issues, urinary issues, topical issues. It's kind of one of those herbs that just all the way around, it will do something. Okay. And always check with your physician before using any herb for medicinal purposes, because I'm not a doctor and I don't play one on YouTube. Thank you very much, YouTube. Now, the interesting and different thing about marshmallow is it's not effective as a tincture. It's only in hot water kills the medicinal value. So if you're putting it in a hot tea, you're not getting any of the medicinal value of it. It is the medicine. The medicine in these are extracted through cold water.
Interesting.
Or room temperature water.
Okay.
So if you're going to use this as a tea to help soothe and coat your throat, then what you're going to want to do is take a tablespoon of that and put it into a quart of room temperature or cold water, let it sit overnight, and then strain it and drink it.
Interesting. Okay.
That's going to be the highest medicinal content to be able to get. Okay. Now, you could also powder that if you have a little grinder or something, and I always have an extra coffee bean grinder. Yeah. They're $10 or $15. I always keep a couple of those in my herb section of my house to grind things up like this if I need it into a powder. That way I'm not buying root, I'm not buying powder, all different forms of the same thing.
Yeah.
So you could use a teaspoon of that, even a half a teaspoon, just in room temperature water with a little bit of honey, and it will be really good for soothing a sore throat.
So is it better for symptoms, or does it actually have like antiviral properties to help?
It does have antiviral properties, but however, they're like the anti-inflammatory. It's very mild.
Okay, so it's more symptomatic.
Yes, if you're looking for a high-powered antiviral, then marshmallow is not going to do it. However, partnered with a high antiviral would be good. Okay.
Sure.
So that's where you start mixing and matching things depending on what you're looking for.
Yeah. Yeah.
The cold infusion also works for the skin compresses. Okay. And if you want to use it in a balm or a salve or a cream or something like that, everything's going to have to be cold processed. Mm-hmm. That way you're getting the most medicinal content that you can.
Now you grow marshmallow, right?
I do.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So in our mid-Atlantic region,
it grows easy. It grows, like I said, the flowers of marshmallow look a lot like a hibiscus. They kind of plump out almost like a morning glory kind of thing. They pop out, but and I have harvested the leaves. This is actually what I have left from this past summer. But I tend to use the root a lot more because that's what's traditional. Yeah. But you can, the leaves are good too, especially if you're, it takes, you don't want to harvest your roots every year.
Right. Okay? Not if it's a perennial.
Right. So it's like, just like my echinacea, every 3 to 4 years, I'll do the roots on things.
Yeah.
It's something like ashwagandha. because ashwagandha here is an annual, so I have to pull it up.
Right.
So, horseradish. I don't pull up my horseradish root every year.
Yeah.
I pull it up as needed.
Yeah, because it's perennial. Yeah.
Or when it needs to be separated, and to get more plants and things. Now, marshmallow is generally very safe. Okay. However, it may slow absorption of other medicines.
Okay.
So you don't want to do anything with marshmallow 1 to 2 hours away from taking any kind of pharmaceuticals.
Mm-hmm.
If you're doing a marshmallow root tea in the evening, then maybe you want to take your bedtime meds, 2 hours before bed, and then have your tea right before bed or something like that. So never together. That's the only.
Really, that's a good rule of thumb for just about every herbal remedy versus prescription medications. You don't really want to, some of them it's fine to mix and match, but as a general rule of thumb, I try to keep mine separated anyway. I don't take any prescriptions, but if I were to,
that's a great rule of thumb, just to avoid things like that.
Mm-hmm.
The energetics of marshmallow is cooling, moistening, sweet, and it is best suited for dry, hot, irritated conditions.
Perfect.
And you can store something like that in a jar, airtight, away from heat and light, and this will last and be medicinal for 2 years.
Nice.
Not that it ever lasts me that long.
Yeah.
So it's one of the most reliable soothing herbs in our times. When your tissues are dry, inflamed, it helps with just gentle support.
Okay.
It's not a powerhouse hit you herb. It's a very gentle, very consistent, slow process, like most natural healing.
Yes. Oh, yes. Requires patience.
That's right.
Lord, I'm getting better, I promise.
Yep. Takes time.
Awesome.
So that's all I have on marshmallow and the follow-up for star anise.
Cool.
So if anybody has any questions, feel free to always reach out. If you have something specific you want us to ever talk about, please let us know that too.
Yes, definitely. Before I start talking about taurine, I want to share my other sponsor today. It is plant paper. Are y'all ready? Best toilet paper ever.
I love visual aids.
This is my new bathroom BFF. No, we started getting this stuff last April, and I love it. But I've become such a believer in it. I didn't want to do it at first because it seems so expensive. Right. But it actually, when you compare how much you're using of the store-bought stuff, and I mean, I never realized how many chemicals are in the store-bought toilet papers. Yeah. It is so bad for our private parts and for women's health and for so many things. I mean, they bleach that. Mm-hmm. One of the reasons why this is like a natural color, this is what normal toilet paper should look like. And they bleach and put all kinds of chemicals in. It's terrible. So anyway, if you go to plantpaper.us and use Dr. Wendy 20, you get 20% off a new subscription. And I will tell you, we do the 96 roll subscription. And that is something that has lasted us 6 months, maybe longer. I'm trying to think. We got it in April, and I got it again probably around November, December. So it lasts a long time in our home. There's 3 of us. 3.5 of us. Jacob's here half the time. Mm-hmm. So, but I mean, it's an excellent product if you are trying to weed things out of your home and slowly bring things in that are more natural, this is a great option to start moving into products like this that stop the chemicals. I mean, it's just unbelievable, the hormone disruptors and all the things that are being put into store-bought toilet paper.
Yeah, and you have to remember your skin is the biggest organ there is, and that's the most sensitive areas of your skin.
Yes, it is. It is. And so very concerning when you see how many chemicals we're absorbing into our very thin layers of skin down there. And so very important to consider
What did you say that was? Plantpaper.us?
Plantpaper.us and Dr. Wendy 20 at checkout.
I need to do that. I really need to do that.
And that will save you 20% off your subscription. So I highly recommend. I have never tried the Kleenex, the tissues that they have. One of my good friends, Margie, she used it and she said for the cost and how much she was going through them and everything, she said she wasn't going to use them again. I can't say that because I've never tried it, but just know that, I don't know enough about that.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, I won't change toilet paper again. Absolutely love their toilet paper.
I was actually looking at toilet tissue on Azure Standards website. Just because but I need to look into this too, because I that is definitely one thing that is my goal to change this year.
Yeah.
In my house.
Yeah. Yeah. And just so you all know, you will hear so many things from me and Wendy about recommendations of things to swap out. We've been at this for 15 years.
Yes.
We don't just wake up one day and own all of these things. This is a one thing at a time.
I don't know anybody that can afford to do it that way.
Not these days. It is one thing at a time. When it came time for me to where I had used up all my, cases of, toilet paper that I bought at BJ's, because I always buy everything in bulk. I was like, you know what? It's time.
Yeah.
So just one thing at a time, y'all. Don't let it stress you out. But if you're at a point where you're ready to make this change, it's a great one. So, all right. So let's talk about taurine. This is the unsung amino acid. And this is something that I have been using quite a bit lately. And so I thought
you got me taking it.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's a sulfur-containing amino acid. It's technically an aminosulfonic acid, and it's not used to build muscle like other amino acids like we think of, that you need for muscle building. It acts more like a regulator and a stabilizer in your body. It's found naturally in meat, fish, and eggs. So vegans and vegetarians tend to have lower levels than they need. It is conditionally essential. So that means that the body makes some, but not always enough for what we need under stress. Like if your body's in a really stressful season, it's probably not making enough. So supplemental is always good to consider, especially if you're not somebody that eats a ton of meat, fish, and eggs. And also, as I always say, there's a big difference in the amino acid content and in the nutritional value of meat, fish, eggs when they are pasture raised, wild caught, those sources versus what you get in the store that is not, unfortunately. Farm raised fish are not going to have the high values of taurine we need. Commercially raised eggs and meat are not going to have the same amount. So just keep that in mind. That goes with anything that we recommend, that you always try and get the best quality of the meats and fish and eggs.
It makes a huge difference.
Massive. So what taurine does in the body, so it's nervous system calming. This is what I'm using it for mostly right now. It modulates GABA, which is a calming neurotransmitter. It stabilizes overexcited neurons, helps reduce sympathetic overdrive. We talked not too long about it, or maybe I didn't talk about it on here. I know I've talked about it recently with my community about the sympathetic versus parasympathetic nervous system. Our bodies were only designed to be in parasympathetic mode, which is fight or flight. We were only supposed to be there very minimal times. It was supposed to be when we were being chased by tigers. Now we are there
constantly.
Sympathetic. I always get that mixed up, in the sympathetic mode. And now we are like 85, 90% in fight or flight mode, which is awful. Our bodies have got to get down regulated from that. So this helps reduce that sympathetic overdrive. It also can help with anxiety, restlessness, and racing thoughts. That's why I started taking this at night, because in the middle of the night at 2-3 o'clock in the morning, I get up to go to the bathroom and then can't get back to sleep because my to-do list wouldn't stop flowing in my brain, and it drove me nuts. So this is why I'm using it at night. It doesn't sedate, it stabilizes. So for sleep support, it supports the parasympathetic parasympathetic tone. So like your rest and digest period, which is what we want more of, is parasympathetic. I said that wrong earlier. It does help lower your nighttime cortisol, which is very important to be able to allow your body to truly get good restful sleep.
Nice.
It can reduce nighttime awakenings. It doesn't reduce mine necessarily, but it allows me to go right back to sleep, which is something that I struggled with for years. And it helps your muscles relax. My little T-Rex arms. I can't reach my notes. I have them on my clipboard here. I'm gonna keep them closer. Woo! All right. So for cardiovascular support, it regulates calcium in the heart cells, supports healthy blood pressure, helps with heart rhythm stability, and it may reduce arterial stiffness, which again is related to that about it helping regulate the calcium, because a lot of times that's what causes the arterial stiffness, is excess calcium in our heart cells. It is actually widely used in cardiology research. Also, it helps with your electrolyte and mineral balances. This works with your magnesium and potassium. It helps regulate cellular hydration, which is so important. Nice. Supports muscle contraction and relaxation. And this is really important for people who fast, who do regular detoxes, for people who are under low stress, and also for people who eat super low carb, because a lot of times you're missing enough of the potassium and magnesium in your food if you're eating ultra low carb. And so this really helps to regulate that.
Nice.
It also helps with blood sugar and metabolic support. It improves insulin sensitivity, supports mitochondrial function, may reduce oxidative stress, and often discussed in metabolic syndrome support. This is one of the reasons why I recommend taurine to my folks that are doing my GLP-1 protocol. It's twofold. It helps really great with the blood sugar and metabolic support, as well as it is so important to have good sleep, good quality sleep, when you are increasing your natural GLP-1 hormone. So it helps both of those pieces of that. Also, it's great for detox and liver support. So it conjugates bile acids, supports bile flow, helps with fat digestion, and boy, don't we all need that. And reduces oxidative stress in liver tissue, which is really good for, I have some people that I work with that are battling fatty liver. Yeah. And it's something that can really help with that as well. Now, this is something I wanted to share that really made me actually decide to talk about this today. Did you know, all of you cat moms and dads out there, that this is one of the best things that you can give your kitty cats? It helps them in so many ways. Some of their food naturally contains taurine. I know that the canned food I give them is very premium, because Mason is, Lord have mercy, he is a hot mess. If I don't give him this premium food, he's going to end up with bladder stones and stuff. So, but he's also my little anxious kitty. and he is one that has digestive issues. I clean up cat throw up 2-3 times a day, every day from him. Ever since I started giving him the taurine, it's not even weekly.
Nice.
It has completely stopped him, and almost immediately.
Nice.
It is completely safe. They cannot synthesize taurine adequately, and it's absolutely essential for them. So taurine deficiency in cats can cause cardiomyopathy, vision problems, digestive issues, and vomiting. So, and also neurological dysfunction. So, with them, what I do is I put a tiny, tiny bit in each one of their food bowls. Like I use this kind right here, this micro ingredients taurine. I only put about 1/8 of a teaspoon in each one of their bowls and mix it up. You can't give them too much though, y'all. I mean, you don't need to give them tons, but they excrete it in their urine. So it's a lot like what I talk about with adults with vitamin C. If you give yourself, more than your body needs, you're just going to pee it out. It's the same thing with cats. So do not worry about giving them, stressing out about the amount you need to give them. I can tell you it's been huge with Mason's absorption issues. And it definitely has improved his GI stability. All right. Who might benefit from taurine just in general? People with anxiety or nervous system dysregulation, poor sleep, high cortisol patterns, cardiovascular concerns, insulin resistance, chronic stress, people fasting or detoxing, vegetarians and vegans because they're not getting enough from their meat sources, and perimenopausal women because it's calming and metabolic support, which is something we desperately need, for both at this stage in our life. So who should be cautious? Taurine is generally safe for everybody, but definitely if somebody has very low blood pressure, it can drop your blood pressure even more. If you're on blood pressure medications, if you're on lithium, it can also cause an excess sedating, like a little too much sedation.
Yeah.
If you have severe kidney disease, you don't want to take it because it is filtered through your kidneys.
Mm-hmm.
If you're on heavy diuretics, definitely I don't recommend this for anybody who's pregnant because there's just not enough data. And so I don't.
That's with most things, right?
Yeah, there's just
that's why they say that's why the caution for every pregnant woman on the herbs, on things, even the natural stuff, because there's just not enough studies.
Exactly. And then if you're on sedatives and if you're very sensitive to calming supplements, I just exercise caution. For me, I am highly sensitive, but I will take this right at bedtime. Mm-hmm. It just relaxes me. I put it in my, I put it in my tea, in my nice calming tea at night. It's tasteless. It dissolves very well.
That's how I've been using it. I put it in my nighttime tea.
Yeah. I've been putting 2,000 milligrams, so 1 scoop in here. It's not a lot. It's a small scoop.
The scoop is tiny, but I tell you what, ever since when you recommended it for the GLP-1 group, I got it. And ever since I've been taking it, I sleep so much better.
Yeah.
Like you said, I used to be the person that when I woke up to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, I would have such a hard time going back to sleep.
Yep.
It was like my body was like, okay, you're up, might as well stay up kind of thing. Now I just kind of stumble to the bathroom and stumble back and go right back to sleep.
Yeah. It's amazing. I wish I would have known about this decades ago because, certainly in the last, handful of years when my body's been trying to get regulated back off of decades of night shift. Yeah. My goodness, what a gift this has been. I'm so grateful for it.
Definitely.
So always start low. Typical dosing for humans is 500 to 2,000 milligrams a day. A lot of people will do just fine with 1,000 milligrams at night. Some people split their dosing depending on what they are using it for. I use 2,000 milligrams at night. I don't have any problems with it. And I do tend to be sensitive to stuff, but it has been the greatest gift at night. Also, for cats, like I said, most veterinary sources suggest about 250 milligrams a day, which comes out to about an eighth, I think, a teaspoon, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe I'm splitting an eighth into 2 bowls. But regardless, you can't give them too much, y'all. They will. I mean, don't give them, a whole huge scoop of it, but just give them a little bit. A little bit goes a long way. It will relax them. My little anxious cat, I've seen a difference in him. I really have. He has his moments, but but it's definitely helped his GI system a lot. Certainly, while I may be a PhD doctor, but please confirm with your veterinarians because I am not a vet. So
that's for you, YouTube.
We don't need YouTube blocking us and saying you're going to kill all the cats. No. I always start low and watch their response, and that's with humans and animals. So what taurine is not, it is not, some people use it also for stimulant early in the day, which I find it interesting, but it's because it's a balancer, kind of like an adaptogen.
Yeah.
Even though it's not an adaptogen, but it's that same kind of mindset. So it's not a stimulant. It's not an energy drink ingredient for stimulation. It actually buffers overstimulation. It is not.
Does it kind of adapt to you and becomes what you need?
Mm-hmm. Because it's affecting your nervous system.
Yeah.
It's able to identify what your nervous system needs. And so with that down regulation, it'll help. Sometimes when your nervous system is downregulated, it actually gives you more energy.
That's true.
Because your nervous system is so amped up that you can't function.
Yeah.
So then it might bring you down and allow you to then be able to have more energy and actually function. So it also does not, on the flip side, it doesn't knock you out like melatonin, and it doesn't build muscle mass. So it's not that kind of amino acid. So I started taurine for nervous system support and sleep. It's helped smooth the nighttime cortisol. I noticed improved calm without feeling sedated at all. Right. And unexpectedly, my cat's chronic vomiting resolved. So I am a huge fan. If I don't have to clean up cat vomit, but less than once a week, I'm a happy girl. So anyway, I hope you all appreciate it. If you have any questions about this information, let me know. Highly recommend this in your nighttime teas. If you are working on a nighttime protocol to help you sleep better, I'm telling you what.
Taurine's a game changer.
This is a game changer.
If you have any kind of issues, whether getting to sleep or waking up and staying awake, this will definitely help, in my opinion.
Yeah. I start with my nighttime tea routine, sometimes right after supper. It depends on what I have going on in the evening. It also depends on how amped up I've been in the day. It's like if I just need some extra time, I might start right after supper, but at least an hour before bedtime. All devices go off, start my tea, and then that goes right in it, and it makes a massive difference.
And it's amazing too that when you train yourself to those kinds of routines, as soon as you cut your phone off, if that's your routine is to cut your phone off, then you automatically start wanting that tea if that's your next step. Your body loves repetitive things.
Yeah.
Because then your mind doesn't have to think. It just does.
Exactly. And it's really fascinating when you can break that cycle.
Yes.
My cycle was every single night at 2 or 3 in the morning, I would wake up and I couldn't get back to sleep. And my anxiety caused it to be worse because I would lay there, like the second I would wake up and get back in the bed, it would be like, oh Lord, how long is it going to take me to get back to sleep? So then that creates more of a problem.
Yeah. Then the anxiety level goes higher because you're worried about getting back to sleep.
Exactly. So it's really cool when you can unlock that code And for me, it's this, and we'll talk another day about L-theanine. That's another thing that's been a game changer for me at night. And my brain no longer thinks it's going to have to lay there and process everything in the middle of the night. And because now it's gotten used to its new routine, it's like it's totally cut that anxiety. It's incredible. I don't
even get a chance to think when I wake up. All I know is I have to go to the restroom.
Yep.
Make it there and make it back, and I'm gone again.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
It reminds me of the days when I drank, stumbling like that because I'm so sleepy and I don't want to get up, but I have to.
Yeah. No, it's good stuff. I am grateful for it. So I hope this helps somebody. Hope you all give it a shot if it's not contraindicated, and let us know. Let us know how it helps you. If you have any questions specifically about it, certainly let me know. And we do have our email, wendysonwellness@gmail.com. Or you can reach out to either one of us directly.
Absolutely.
So what you got going on this week besides your amazing trip?
That's
it, I guess, huh?
That is it. Yeah, I won't be back until late Monday night.
Okay.
I'll be leaving tomorrow. I'll be back late Monday night, and I am in need of some warmth and sunshine. I'm looking forward to it. My girlfriend Susan and I, it's been a very long time since we had any kind of quality time together, so I'm looking forward to that too. And God bless her for inviting me on this trip. She cruises all the time, y'all, and all I had to do was pay for my plane ticket.
What a gift!
Who's gonna say no to that?
No, of course
not February and winter.
Yeah.
So we're going to the Bahamas, and I'm looking forward to it.
That's awesome.
Very much. And be back late Monday night, and I have no idea what the herb of the week's going to be next week. I'll figure it out on Tuesday.
Yep. You go into this and you don't think a thing about this till you get home.
That's right. That's the plan. How about you? What you got going on?
I actually have a lot going on. I'm really taking advantage of this rest season to knock out a lot of things that I've been needing to do for a while. As far as like some of my projects for Freedom Holistic Wellness. Okay. I am finally wrapping up, for those people who did the Heal With Me journey last year, finally wrapping up my DIY protocol for all my detoxes. It is a lot. I'm really happy. I mean, I wasn't in a huge rush because everybody I had promised that was going to get this for free who went through the journey with me last year, they all had access to the whole time to the rough draft versions. Yeah. Man, I'm putting it all together in a really nice ebook that will be available for purchase on the website, hopefully in about a week. Okay. It's all the protocols. It is going to have videos for each section, meal plans or e-cookbooks where appropriate. I've got so much in there. It's going to be a lot of content. I'm very excited. Also wrapping up after that is done. Well, that's the big thing this week, but wrapping up my book, Fuel for the Calling, trying to do a lot of these things. And even if I am not in a position yet to be able to afford the publishing, what I am considering doing is putting it out as an e-cook or an ebook for purchase. And then when I can, I'll get it professionally published. But in the meantime, I've got things I'm writing that I know that people really enjoy when I put these things out. So intending to have that done here pretty soon too.
Nice. You're always busy.
Well, I am.
Always. Busy's good.
But also in a season of allowing a lot of rest. I'm having to learn to get up a lot. Yeah. That is one thing that's hard for me because once I start writing, I start really focusing because of my ADHD, if I go, I don't want to stop. I don't like taking pauses.
Same.
But because of what it causes with the adhesive capsulitis, if I don't get up and do some shoulder exercises and things like that, it can make me freeze up a little bit more. So
we should all be moving more than before, right?
Yeah.
So it's like I'm like that too, and I think a lot of people our age have ADHD and never were diagnosed.
Oh, 100%.
There's a lot of us I'm like that. When I get into a project, no matter what it is, that's all I can focus on.
Yeah.
You know,
exactly.
So it's like, yeah, sometimes I'll be sitting there. It's like, oh my gosh, I have not moved in 2 hours. Not good.
Yeah. And so it's really been an exercise of patience in this season, but also discipline of, making myself get up and move, getting back to what I'm doing. So yeah, it's a special time. It's not something I love or highly recommend to anybody else. 10 out of 10 do not recommend adhesive capsulitis. I do not love this.
I can already see how much you have learned. And I love watching the process of progressive healing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, and I tell you too, I've truly, this is a resolve I never expected to feel. I am, and this is like no exaggeration to my what I plan to turn this into. I've never liked exercise. I've done it. I like to walk. I do like to walk. But
I like if it's like dancing or some kind of fun activity with friends.
But like going to the gym and things like I've never enjoyed that.
Me either. I'd rather go out in the woods and take a hike.
Yeah. But I will tell you that this has given me a resolve like no other. Much like what I experienced after my really bad wreck when I was 19, and the doctors told me that all of my issues I had residual after I was learning to walk was all related to muscle weakness. So then I got in the best shape of my life. I went to the gym, I worked out, but back in my 20s, it was more vanity. Mm-hmm. Now I just want to be 90 and still in my garden.
That's right.
I want to be able to get in the floor with my grandbabiys. Yeah. So as soon as
not just get in the floor, but we want to be able to get up.
Yes, we want to be able to get up, roll around, then get up and dance with them and do all the things for many years to come. I've got a lot of life left in me. And so I'm going to turn this into, as soon as I get the green light and I can start working out, this is going to be a whole new chapter in my life of really taking my physical fitness a lot more seriously than I have. The nutrition's important. That's important. You've got to fuel your body right.
As we age, the strength training becomes very important.
Yes. And it's really interesting. That's something I learned from Dr. Mark Hyman probably about 2 years ago, listening to him, that as much as young people do the like super heavy lifting and all that kinds of stuff, and they're all worried about muscle building, a lot of that is more vanity and early, strength and all that. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but then we get away from that when we get older. Do you know the population that needs it the most is us?
Yes.
When we are going through this time in our life, when our bones are getting weaker, when our muscles can't support our bones and our frame and what we need, that is when we need it the most. And it helps support our metabolism and our metabolic shifts and all these things in our life. So if you have never been a weightlifter and you're in your 50s, start now. That's and keep it going. I mean, people in their 50s need to be doing this.
Yep.
So, and I'm not talking,
I'm not saying you have to become a bodybuilder or anything like that. Strength training.
Training.
All of us and older, our age and older, we need it.
We need it. We need to prioritize it. And I can tell you, this has been my wake-up call. And the minute, even though, like I said, last week I've decided I'm not beating myself up over this anymore. I'm using it as a learning curve or a learning experience. But, when I found out that athletes also get this, I gave myself some grace because I thought, oh gosh, this is happening because I never get out and exercise. And that's not true. Athletes even can get this. So, but it has definitely been a wake-up call for me. And I am going to have a big shift in my physical activity as soon as God gives me the ability.
That's right. And, to strength train, that doesn't mean that you have to join a gym and go to a gym.
No, you can use bands at home. You can use all kinds of stuff.
Bands at home, even using your own body weight. Things. Is just do it.
Yeah. You know what? I've been doing Tai Chi walking.
Uh-huh.
around my house, 5 to 10 minutes a day.
Nice.
And I haven't been doing the upper body at all because, like I said, T-Rex, I'm not doing that
What are
yet.
you using to do that? I've been seeing that a lot lately.
I've been doing it myself. I'm telling you, there's so many people out there.
Something on YouTube
Yes.
to kind of get a guideline.
Yes.
That's what I'm seeing it on.
Go to YouTube and just search Tai Chi walking for beginners. And there's a lot of videos out there. And I learned what the technique is for your legs. That's all I've been doing. Y'all, it is not that hard. And I have noticed a strength in my legs. One of the things I struggle with is, and this has been really bad over the last couple years, is getting my shoes and socks on the left side. And that's because of my left hip, having the physical limitations. I want you to know, since I started Tai Chi walking in the midst of all this, even with this going on with me, I can now bring my foot all the way up when I'm sitting on the couch so that my heel is on the couch and I can easily put my shoes and socks on.
Very nice.
Bill was looking at me the other day. He was like, "That's new." I said, "I know." It's like I can stretch and do it, so it's not like I've had other people having to put them on for me, but it's a chore.
Well,
now it's
so nice when everyday things become a little easier, right? Yeah. I did Taekwondo for 15 years and that's what I used to stay in shape for so long. Mm-hmm. Now I've been out of that for 15 years and I really would love to find something that I love just as much as the Taekwondo back then.
Yeah. Well, I look forward to when the weather's warmer and I can do the Tai Chi walking outside in my yard.
Yeah.
Not too close to the road. People will think I'm crazy, but that's but it's so, I want to do it barefoot outside, part of my grounding. But yes. It's a very simple movement and it's almost like you, honestly, I'm just going to tell you, go to YouTube, look up beginner Tai Chi walking. This is a whole nother conversation we could get into, but just do from the waist down and see how much you strengthen your lower body just doing that. I've been very impressed.
It's so funny that you were talking about that because for the last week and a half, every time I turn on YouTube, that's what's coming up is Tai Chi walking. And I'm like, okay, I've never heard of it before.
I hadn't either. It was one of those things.
But not Tai Chi walking. And I'm like, okay, well, let me. Right. Okay.
And it's great for our age and older. Anybody can do it. Anybody can do it. So, I started getting all these Facebook ads trying to get me to sign up for some app or whatever or program.
You don't have to pay for it, y'all. There's
don't have to pay for it
for free.
Yeah. Plenty of free information out there. And it's a lot easier than you may think. So
nice.
All right, y'all. I hope y'all have an amazing week. Wendy, I hope you have an amazing cruise.
Thank you. I'm going to be sending you sunshine.
Bring back sunshine so we can get rid of all this white stuff and get started on our spring.
That's right.
To heck with that little Punxsutawney Phil or whatever his name is.
That little rat.
That little rat that's telling us we got longer winter. But anyway, all right. We love you guys. Have an amazing week and we will see you next week. Be well.